meeting to order. Do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Straight down, straight down. Mr. Superintendent Perez. Are there, oh no, what do we do?
Adoption of agenda, roll call.
Roll call. Just do roll call.
Emily Hunt Daly,
Here.
Robert Hayes,
Here.
Richard Jones, Ron Ortiz,
Here.
Dr. Dara Shambo.
Superintendent Perez, for the adoption of the agenda, are there any changes to the agenda?
Good evening, everyone. Madam Chair, I recommend that we adopt the agenda of November 15th, 2022 as presented.
No changes?
No changes.
So moved.
Think roll call?
I'll second.
Oh, second, let's do a roll call.
Emily Hunt Daly,
Yes.
Robert Hayes,
Yes.
Ron Ortiz,
Yes.
Carries. Okay, recommendation for adoption of the minutes. Mr. Superintendent?
I'd recommend that we adopt the minutes November 1st as presented.
Motion?
So moved.
Second. Roll
Emily
call?
Hunt Daly,
Yes.
Robert Hayes,
Yes.
Ron Ortiz,
Yes.
Okay, motion carried and passed. Superintendent, do we have any recognitions?
Madam Chair, members of the board, I don't have any formal recognitions, but I do want to make a couple of comments for the for the record. I'd like to inform the board that we've been getting a lot of positive compliments about the security guards at all of our campuses and the good job that they're doing at the campuses and making our students and staff feel safe around the community. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that they've been responsive. They've been present. They're showing a lot of presence, which is very important for the school. So kudos go out to all the security guards. We just hired 3 more guards today, so we should be full force on Monday or close to that. So also I want to recognize our athletes this year. We just finished off some seasons, and I know that Laguna Acoma is going to be here to talk a little bit about, so I'm not going to steal the thunder, but we're all very proud of our Laguna Acoma volleyball team for being state champs for 2 years in a row. I had to say that. So that's still coming. Also, this is Native American month, Indigenous month, so I know that a lot of our individual schools are celebrating that in different ways. So we do appreciate all the efforts that are going into acknowledging and recognizing all of our Native American people in and around everything that we do. We also had Veterans Day last week, and just wanted to make a mention and kudos to Mr. Greiner and the performance that they put on last Thursday evening. Jennifer and I were able to go to that, and it was a really nice event. Mix of music and honoring all the local veterans. The quilters made some nice quilts to certain veterans. So it was nice to see that we community came together to honor our local veterans. So that's what I have as far as recognitions for tonight.
We also have a track state champion,
Yes.
Miss Erica Martin from Laguna Acoma as well.
And I believe they're going to present that is that correct? Somebody here from Laguna Acoma?
no one's here.
Okay, so no one's here for Laguna, so on the slide, I believe there's some recognition on the cross country. I believe all the names will come up and, okay, thank you.
Superintendent Perez, do we have any citizens to address the board?
No, ma'am, we have no citizens to address the board.
Okay. Do I need to read that?
No.
Okay. Okay, read that. Okay, moving on to number 6, presentations.
I don't know if we have six. How many presentation schools? We have, I believe, 3. Dr. Martin's pulling up the slide. So this round we have, I believe it's Laguna Acoma up first. Is that correct? Okay. So, is there anyone, no one's here for Laguna this evening? Okay, so I'll go ahead and explain a little bit of what I see. And we did get the, I don't want to say cadaver table, what do you call it?
Virtual dissection.
Virtual dissection table. We have one at Grants now in place. And we have one at Laguna Acoma in place. So they are being used by the students. It's a very exciting tool. I got some videos of that. And also the mechatronics lab is up and going. And you can see some pictures there of how they're experimenting with that. There's also curriculum and some very specific and intentional learning that goes alongside all of this equipment. So the fruit of the investments for the school is actually there, and that's something to celebrate for all of us, and especially the students.
Do we have a number of how many students are involved in these programs?
I can get that number. I don't have it right off the bat. And here's what we just finished talking about. So District 2A champions, or Laguna Acoma Lady Hawks, 6-0. It's nice to see them. I got to go out and visit them yesterday and congratulated them personally. It's very exciting. It's history making. You know, we got 2 years in a row. Great group of girls. Their average GPA for the team right now is at a 3.2. And I think they are very conscientious, not only about their sports, they're also very focused on their grades as well. So that makes it even so much more to celebrate. So we're really, really proud of the girls there at Laguna Acoma.
And they're really tall.
Yes.
It's a good advantage.
I don't know where they get all their height. When I coached, we were all short.
There's a couple of them that I looked eye to eye.
Yes.
So across country, district and state champs, you see there Erica Martin, District 2A girls state champ. So congratulations to Erica Martin. Now we'll turn it over to Cebolleta Elementary and Principal Martinez.
Good evening, school board and superintendent, Mr. Pettis. I'm happy to be here this evening to share some of our successes at both Cubero and Cebolleta. First, I would like to introduce our amazing and talented music teacher, Miss Agnes Mercado.
Good evening to the board. The Veterans Day program was held on Wednesday, November 9, 2022, from 9:30 to 11:15 a.m. at Cebolleta Elementary School gym. At least 7 veterans came with their families. The purpose of this program is to honor the brave men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces, and for the students to better understand and absorb the significance of Veterans Day. The front side of the gym was decorated with the flags of the 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Forces, and at the side are some pictures of the veterans who live within the community. The students and teachers went to the gym 15 minutes before the program started to prepare themselves for their respective performances, while the guests arrived on time. So we were able to start the program on time too. The program began with the welcome remarks by yours truly, followed by the sharing of a short information about Veterans Day, started by Leilani Montano, the Student Council President. The entrance of colors was presented by Jacob Marquez and Ryan Woods, both Student Council officers. After singing the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance, the performance of each grade level took place. There was an introduction given by the selected students before each performance. The first performers were the kindergarten to fourth grade students. They sang the Veterans Day Old Poppy joyfully. In this song, the veterans were reminded about the military remembrances. The second performers were the fifth and sixth grade students. They sang the Thank You Soldiers. In this song, some veterans were teary-eyed, probably because they really felt appreciated. Before the final song, there was a parade of all the armed forces flag. Each flag was recognized by a hand salute of the veterans. The highlight and the most touching part of the celebration was when each of the veterans introduced themselves and shared some of their unforgettable and memorable experiences in the service. They were so thankful to the school for organizing a special program for them. After which, the students gave some handmade tokens like cards, posters, notes, picture frames, and others to the veterans. Tears of joy flowed out from both the veterans and some students. Even yours truly cried when I saw the happiness in the eyes of the veterans. For the final song, all the students performed America the Beautiful. The veterans stood up with hand salute and joined the singing. After the singing, we called all the veterans in front to have their picture taken with all the students and staff. Then, simple snacks were served to the veterans. We reached our goal and we were excited about welcoming our veterans and their families. The event was a success. Overall, the feedback we received from the community was overwhelmingly positive, with 100% of participants commenting favorably on the experience. This event involved the community in a new and unique way of showing our appreciation to the veterans. The time spent practicing the performances was short. Hence, for next year, we will start preparing as early as possible so that we can give a more creative, varied, and meaningful experience to our veterans. Lastly, with my first time participating in honoring the veterans, it was an amazing experience for me. I wish we can also do this kind of recognition to our veterans in my own country. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to organize this memorable event with the support of our beloved principal, Ms. Monica Martinez, Ms. Carrie Balu, our instructional coach, with the participation of all the students and with the assistance of the staff of Cebolleta Elementary School, and most especially to our district office personnel. Thank you.
Excellent.
Ms. Mercado is an amazing music teacher. I invite any of you, when you are at Cubero or Cebolleta, to join her class, seeing the little kids sing and dance. It's just a wonderful experience and it will lift your spirits up. There's times I go and go to her class and just see the little kids. Mr. Maldonado, you would love to sing and dance with her, so you come and join us. And this Veterans Day, it's something that Cebolleta has been doing in the past. But of course, with COVID, we did have to stop. And so now we are grateful that we can bring this back to the community, and they loved it.
Do you have any questions or comments from the board?
Good job.
Excellent.
And then at Cubero, we celebrated our second annual Trunk or Treat. We started this event last year so we can invite friends and families and community members to the school in a safe manner. This year, we had over 40 families participate and several community members. We had Grant-Cebolla County Sheriff's Department, Cubero Fire Department, and the Pueblo of Acoma Behavioral Health Services. Our families go above and beyond every year. They're very creative, seeing some of the displays they had for their kids and the students, just seeing their smiles made that day a success. We plan to continue to have this event. And it's just a great way to invite family members and community members to our school. And we did start this at Cebolleta as well. So it's something that we can do in a safe manner. We're outside, and seeing the families able to see their students is always fun. Also, as part of our Red Ribbon Week celebration, we had at the end of October, we had Laguna police officers come to Cabero and Cebolleta to talk to the students about drug abuse and bullying. We also participated in National Unity Day on October 19th, where the students and staff wore orange for kindness, acceptance, and inclusion. So that was nice seeing the students dressed up in orange and just being nice and making sure that they are being a friend. Also, we will be participating in Rock Your Mocks on Thursday. So if you have a chance, come out to both schools and see the students, because not only do they wear their moccasins, but they are wearing their traditional clothing, and seeing that, it's amazing and it's so beautiful. So great things are happening at both schools, and I'm happy to be part of this process. So thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
Any further comments?
We'll see you come dance.
Just like to,
Thank you.
just like to thank both of you. Your enthusiasm and creativity is really warranted, and that's what we need more in our schools, and to have people like you, staff members, that give 100% and don't stop. I have grandchildren at both schools, and it's amazing to watch the camaraderie that goes on among the staff. And thank you very much for all your input, and welcome to our school and our community. And you'll see more of the tear-jerking events as the longer you stay here. But thank you for your enthusiasm. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. That's the last for the school site.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair, members of
Oh,
the
I'm
board.
sorry.
You next.
Okay, for 347
Yeah.
Tobacco-Free Campus.
Yeah, next up is 24/7 Tobacco-Free Campus. We had some presenters here. They were attempted to get on the last board meeting, but we didn't make the timeline. So we're glad you're here. Yeah.
You guys could.
That's your shirt.
Thank you. You know that I don't have enough, but.
You can share.
Yeah, I'm on this one. It's nice to be here. My name is Maximilian Martin. I'm a junior at Grants High School, and I'm here today as a member of Evolvement. If you're unfamiliar with Evolvement, we are a youth-led movement working to decrease the harmful effects of tobacco. And one of our campaigns that I'm working on this year is 24/7. That's the focus of why I'm here. The 24/7 campaign is helping New Mexico schools adopt, implement, and enforce truly tobacco-free schools and policies. With comprehensive tobacco-free policies, possession, use, and distribution is prohibited by anyone, anywhere, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At Grants High School, we've made a lot of progress being 100% tobacco-free. Last year, I advocated for 24/7 among my peers. I set up booths at lunch, made them take surveys about what they knew about our policies at school, and just overall getting information on what we do for 24/7. Grand Isabella County Schools is doing a great job to commit to healthy students, staff, and visitors. You can strengthen this commitment by adopting our comprehensive tobacco-free policy. We provided a copy with you of your current tobacco-free policy in your folders to use as reference. As a reminder, here are the required items that need to be updated in order to make the tobacco policy 100% comprehensive. You need to include the word distribution as a prohibited action with tobacco on all school property and off-site school events for students, staff, and visitors. Include the word possession as a prohibited action with tobacco for visitors on all property, and prohibit tobacco advertising. You also need to mention that tobacco-free signage will be posted all around campuses. I've seen some around my school on bulletin boards and whatnot. You need to include a communication plan to alert students, staff, and visitors about the tobacco policy. And you need to mention that the district will provide referrals to cessation resources to help students and staff overcome tobacco addiction. As a partner and resource to Grand Cebolla County Schools, we are here to offer you to help update your tobacco policy to be completely comprehensive. In your folders is a model policy language to help you are free to adopt completely or use as a reference to revise your current policy. Once you adopt a comprehensive tobacco-free policy, the 24/7 campaign has great ways to support your school. We will provide bilingual tobacco-free signs, the 24/7 toolkit, and faculty training resources to all schools in your district at no cost. We will also celebrate your policy update on both social and traditional media, and will feature your district on our website and printed materials. On behalf of Evolvement, we thank you for taking the time to learn more about the 24/7 campaign, and we hope that Grand Cebolla County Schools will become the 17th school district in New Mexico with a truly comprehensive tobacco-free policy.
Any questions or comments? Is there something that prohibits us to include this language in our current policy, or do we have to have legal look at it?
No, ma'am, we just need to put it through our policy adopting process, which would mean I would put this up maybe next board meeting as a read, and then the following board meeting, we'll put it up again as a second read and then an adoption. And if the board so chooses to adopt it, then it's a go. Then we process it through our policy services.
See if we can get that done. And so how many are in your committee for 24/7?
So I'm currently the only leadership member in the district, which is mostly going out and doing these kind of things. But this year we've had so many people sign up to just join Evolvement, which is 2 campaigns, including this one. So I'm pretty sure next year there'll be a lot more leadership members talking to you and getting you to adopt some of these policies and change around schools.
Do you have plans to go to like the elementary schools or middle school to make the same
Yeah,
presentation?
I do. I've talked with Principal Widener about signing with us, and he has signed a pledge card for us to adopt these policies.
I might know that Mr. Marmon is also the son of Ms. Marmon, who's a very good advocate for all the different campaigns that we have. And it's no wonder that he's involved in this. Thank you. I think we need that more at our schools, all our schools. And the earlier we get to them, I think the more success we'll have in making sure that our students are aware of the things that are bad about tobacco, not just tobacco itself, but all other kind of drugs and stuff. So thank you for your,
Thank you. I appreciate all of your time.
Chair, I have a request to, is there a chance I can get a list of those districts, the other 16 that are currently utilizing?
Yes.
And the reason is because I like to talk to them about their policy and procedures and how they want.
We will follow up with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Letter C, 2023 bond sale update, Superintendent.
Yes, sir, Madam Chair, members of the board, we have with us this evening, Kaylee. And she's here on behalf of RBC Capital to give some information on our bonding. Welcome.
Good evening, President, members of the board. My name is Kelly Weimerskirch, again with RBC Capital Markets, your municipal advisor. And I'm actually here to talk about the 22 bond sale that the district recently went through. And then we'll also talk a little bit about 2023 here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. See if it. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. So the district went out and sold a total of $3 million. We locked in rates back in September on the 26th, which, you know, is great considering that last week or a couple weeks ago, actually, the Fed raised rates again by 75 basis points. These bonds closed back in October on the 14th, and have maturities between 2023 and 2033. It will have a 10-year call date, so starting in 2032, these bonds can be callable. So this issuance came in at a TIC of only, of only 1.798. You know, for just some perspective, you know, the 10-year Treasury today is trading at about 3.7%. So this is far below the market. Some of that reasoning is because, you know, the district did qualify for disadvantaged funding through the NMFA. So $300,000 of this issuance is actually at 0%. So with the TIC of only 1.7, the total interest came in at $107,000. So on the next page here, I have an overview of the debt service of the bonds. So if you see there in 2023, we do have a large payment. The district did have a large cash balance at the time, and so that initial payment will soak up that large cash balance, you know, eliminating a lot more of the interest costs by having less principal outstanding further on. And again, as I mentioned before, the district did qualify for $300,000 of disadvantaged funding, which kicks in starting in 2028. So 2028 through the life of the loan is 0% interest charge. So I do have a market update in the back. I'm going to stop there and we'll talk a little bit about 2023. So going into this year, we did set the tax rates again. Everything is level at roughly about $9.70. Also, we are looking and we are on schedule to issue about a $1 million ETN. That should be closing somewhere in March, but we will be back in your January meeting to kind of discuss that ETN and get that ball rolling. So with that, I'll pause there and see if anyone has any questions.
Great.
I mean, if no questions, as always, if there's anything, just feel free to reach out to us at any point. Again, congratulations to the district on the very successful bond sale, along with getting in and out of the market right at the right time. And I thank you for your time tonight. Thank you.
One question, do you think that rate's going to hold, or are we going to see fluctuations?
So it is expected that the Federal Reserve is going to raise rates again. At the moment, the market is pricing in about a 25 to 50 basis point increase at the December meeting and also the January meeting. You know, the Fed is getting inflation a little bit under control. The CPI this last month came in at 7.7%, and that is the first time it has been below 8% since February. So things are cooling off a little bit, but the Fed has a long way to go, and we're expecting that there will be more interest rate increases in the future.
So right now, all of our activity is pretty much on target with the amounts, the loans, the interest rate. It sounds like we, the timing was great for us, but
Yes.
It's safe to say that we're on track.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions?
No, but you'll keep us updated, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, we'll be back here on your January meeting to talk about the $1 million ETN issuance. You know, that'll be kind of an overview of the district's tax base, look at your outstanding debt, and then again, another market update too. We keep a very close eye on these things.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. And again, thank you for your time and have a good night.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving right along, letter D, strategic plan monitoring.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board. The strategic plan monitoring tool I've talked to you all about here and there. So just to give it some perspective, we do have our 3-year strategic plan. We're well into it. We got a head start and then COVID and all of that. So a lot of moving parts. But we, as Dr. Guy had mentioned, we need a process and some procedures to monitor all aspects of the strategic plan to see, are we making progress? How are things going with it, and so on. I do like the way that we're handling this. I think too many districts will do a strategic plan and put it on the shelf and wait till it's due to make a new one. That happens a lot. But I think it's safe to say that we have a strategic plan that we're very much aware of. We talk about this a lot at principals meetings and directors meetings, executive leadership teams, to at least, look in the document, see that, we're on track on what we're doing. We're gonna make it a little more formal, so Raina put together a tool to monitor, and the rest of us have chimed in on making it a workable document. So basically, what you see on the screen is, we call it the monitoring tool, but it's basically a warehouse for all of the evidence for all of those different aspects of the strategic plan. But the next piece to this is not just to collect documents, but we want to measure how are we doing. So we just talked about, in fact, yesterday, in ELT, that we want to get all of our principals and all of our administrators together on January 4th. Where we're going to peel this apart and we're going to check each section and talk to each other about where we're at. Are we in a green light zone, or we need more help? Do we need to pay more attention to this area? So we're going to do a real careful check based on all the evidence that we have here. Take a look at this as a group and do a check together. So it's not just one of us or just me saying, yeah, we did good there, we didn't do so good here, but all of us will analyze it and see where we're at. So also like to let you know, remind you that you do have access to this. This is a live document, and if you can just go into Google Forms, we can send you a link. If you have any trouble getting in there, let me know. But you can just go in and get around in this document and check to see some of the things that we're doing. We don't have everything in here, but it gives you an idea of some evidence of some of the things that are going on. And Dr. Martin, can you just show a couple of examples of some of the things we have going on there? So if you click on each one of those blue underlined section is a link, and it'll pull up a document. So this one is which one?
PLC.
This is a PLC schedule for Blue Water and San Rafael. And another example of and this is
The data dive that Grants High School implemented recently.
so it's evidence and of some data analysis that was done at the high school and what they talked about at one of their staff meetings. So it gives you a general idea of all the activities that are going on at the different schools in support of the strategic plan initiatives. SAT scores. Another example, that's 22, 23. So this is all part of their data discussion, right? At the high school recently. So are there any other examples of documents?
Standards. So
Okay, and this is from which school or just
it's district.
our district?
district-wide standards.
Okay. So these are some tools, documents that are probably used at the training for the teachers
PLCs.
and the PLCs. Okay, thank you. So that's generally what this tool is about, and we plan on using it to check our progress.
So when you collect this data, you get that from the different schools through their, is that Illuminate and other data collection?
Yes, and it's from various sources. So if you, it depends on what the area is. There's a person, let's see.
There are 4 different tabs for each goal.
So you notice the shaded areas are represent the different goals of the district. But There may be some areas where we need the school input for them, the schools to actually put documents in there. And there are other areas where it's one of the departments in the district will need to put their data in there to support. And again, it's not all inclusive, but it gives, just to give us, you all especially, an idea of that we are paying attention to all of these areas.
And where else or who else do we share this information with?
Right now, it's an internal working document, so basically it's us, but yeah. To keep tabs and keep ourselves accountable for we're doing what we said we're gonna do. And so out of this, like I say, if the board or some of us want more information, we can put together a presentation as we did, as we do like for tribal consultations and things like that. We'll get a lot of information on enrollment, standards-based system, our academic performance. We can pull all that out and then put together a presentation like for Laguna or for Acoma or for whoever the audience may be.
Well, I would also think that this data is pertinent to the current audit that we're looking or we're experiencing now, to show them that we're on task and on some sort of schedule makes it more visible,
Yes.
and we're not hiding anything.
Transparent.
Yeah, transparency is
And
really key.
Yeah, very much so. And I can also add to that. So the Legislative Finance Committee audit, since we last talked, they're still asking us for more documents. And I guess the interviews are leading to requests for other documents. So we're still providing that. But to get to what you were saying is, it's been nice to have systems that we can pull those documents up. For example, I was asked for discipline documents for the last 6 years by them. So that sounds like a big task, but ask Rose Gingrich, who does our state reporting, if she can kindly pull up 6 years worth of disciplinary data, what the violation was and what the punishment and the consequence was. And she was able to deliver that within the day. So we had pages and pages of documents for 6 years worth of that. But we have it there. And that's then with the systems that we have in place, we're able to pull that out and deliver it to them.
I think
That's it.
that's really important to show them, like he said, the transparency and the direction that this district is going as well.
So that's all I have for the monitoring tool right now.
Do all the departments, like the facilities and all, they also provide data or information for the strategic plan?
I do, yes, drill reports and stuff like that. Safety, mainly safety stuff goes into the strategic plan. The facilities master plan could go in there. We're currently working on updating that right now, so the one that we have is 5 years old at this point, so.
I know that at one point I was always asking for some kind of project updates on what projects we had ongoing and expected start date, expected finished completion date, and never received one since I've been here, but
Okay.
I'm hoping that we know what's going on in each one of our schools.
So
Yeah, I could definitely get a presentation together for you guys, can kind of show you timelines of where we're at with different projects.
Good.
So we do have that. We have presented that when Mr. Lee was here on different projects. We just need to update those, and I know that Mr. Triplehorn is on that.
Thank you. Any other
Yeah.
questions, requests, data?
Just like to make a comment, so again, not everything that we do is in this document. This is geared and focused on the strategic plan activities that we built. We do a lot of other things, but this is to support the strategic plan.
And I think that back before you came, we wanted to make sure that the public and our community understood that this was a living, breathing document, that it wasn't going to be put on a shelf somewhere, that we were going to continue to monitor it and make sure that it was moving along, and any changes that need to be made were going to be implemented. So this is just make sure that we understand that it's a living, breathing document. Very good.
Thank you.
Moving right along, action items.
Yes, sir. Madam Chair, members of the board, the action item this evening is consideration to approve the list of fixed assets for GCCS, and I do recommend that we approve this action item.
I was telling her I was gonna pull up, print all the, but it was like 467 pages, and I said, okay, yeah, so.
I could explain this a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So, or actually,
Sure. So we're required to bring to the board a list of fixed assets every 2 years for approval of the list. We haven't done that, well, at least since I've been here, and I don't think it's ever been done in the last 10 years. In July and August, we completed a very comprehensive review and count of all of the assets within the district. We also organized those by location, by purchase price, the date that the item was placed in service, and then from there, we developed a very comprehensive and accurate depreciation schedule. So the list that you see before you is now a very comprehensive and complete list of all the fixed assets. Along with that, we have in our accounting system now depreciation schedule that accurately reflects what we have in the district. So that translates to our balance sheet. Our balance sheet lists assets and liabilities and that kind of thing. So each year we will every time we do a count, which will be each year, but every time we take an item out of service, for example, or place a new item in service, so if I'm giving you an example of all the units we placed up in New Alpena for the HVAC, those are all fixed assets. They have a serial number, a location, the date that they were placed in service, the purchase price, and then the depreciation schedule starts when they flip the switch and fire that thing going, and then we add that. And that adds to our balance sheet as well as to our list of assets. So it's a moving document, things go on, things go out, but this is our first baseline since I've been here. And it has eliminated a finding from our audit that we've had for years. And so I'm really happy about that. So moving forward, we're putting in place a new process that will enable us to update this on a monthly basis for the district. I'm
You
happy
did.
to answer any questions.
You did answer my question. It's no wonder it was not an audit exception, but you did say it has been for a number of years.
Yes. Glad to get that one off the plate.
big one. No.
It's continuous.
Okay, well,
Madam
you,
Chairman, it's not, nothing new. The city is the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an ongoing fight to try and get people to put things in and the cost. And it tells you what your liability is to your community, where your money's going, what, you can't just say, just give us money all the time. You need to show exactly what's being spent on.
to get it done, then to try to add more things and then try to come up with a comprehensive list. I'm surprised that you were able to do that. So good job, Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along. Okay, so we're going to your recommendation, Superintendent.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I recommend that we do approve this action item.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve the action item tonight.
Do I have a
Second, Madam Chair.
second? Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote.
Emily Hunt Daly,
Yes.
Robert Hayes,
Yes.
Ron Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion carries. Got your list approved.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I remember a while back, there was this car that we called the Bald Eagle. It was the old, what was, I know, maybe I'm dating myself, but it was that old that I had to drive it one time to go somewhere, I don't remember.
Me and you.
Using a Chevy
Was it-
Impala?
Something like that way.
A station wagon?
Station wagon. Hackman.
And that was gone right, I imagine, okay. Well, I remember
No longer on that paper.
Dr. Martin drove that for years.
We were never sure we was gonna make it to your destination, I remember
It
that.
didn't a couple of times. Yeah.
I ran out of gas into the freeway.
That's because the gas gauge didn't work.
Okay, moving right along, let's move on to the consent agenda, Superintendent.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair, members of the board, I recommend that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Emily Hunt Daly,
Yes?
Richard Hayes. Robert Hayes.
One of us, yes.
One of you guys. Ron Ortiz.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna move into,
Executive session in here or?
Everybody step out a little bit, and we can do the executive session right here.
Shouldn't take that long.
so do we need a vote to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
Move to executive session, which only includes the discussion of possible acquisition of real property by the board as permitted under section 1015(1)(h)(8) of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act.
6:16.
We need to take a vote.
Yes.
Roll call?
Emily Hunt Daly. Yes. Robert Hayes,
Yes.
Ron Ortiz.
Yes.
Carries. Move into executive session.
We'll just have to invite the attorney to this, Okay, YouTube's back on. YouTube is still on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming back into, out of executive session, and the only thing discussed was the discussion of possible acquisition of real property by the board as permitted under section 1015-1H8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. Do we need a roll call now? About,
Motion to come back into regular session.
do I have a motion?
I'll move to come back into regular session.
Second.
Emily Hunt Daly,
Yes.
Robert Hayes.
Yes.
Honor Teets.
Yes.
Back in session, moving right along, superintendent's report.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Legislative Finance Committee, I spoke to you about that earlier. I just want to inform you that that process is continuing, interviews are continuing, asking for documents is continuing and delivering those documents. So that's all that there is. I'm hoping that soon they'll give us some kind of a draft on what, how they're pulling all this information together, so we can see what that's gonna look like. And we will have a, like I said, testifying to the Legislative Finance Committee probably in January or early February, based on all this information. That's all I have on that one. And then the tribal consultation update, I wanted to just let the board know that we did have a formal consultation with Acoma on Wednesday, November 8th, and which we took our team, our administrative team, over to Sky City Casino. Governor Vicente and his staff were there. It was a pretty lengthy 2.5-hour meeting with them. Very thorough, lots of good discussion, dialogue. We had a member of Laguna there, Councilman Sharmaya was there representing Laguna. I think their plan was originally they wanted to just have Laguna there and Acoma, so we could have both consultations together. And Mr. Sharmaya thought that that's what it was, and that was okay. However, following our consultation meeting, we got a request from Laguna for us to do the same dialogue and the same consultation over with the full council, Laguna governor and full council. So we're waiting for a date on that. So we'll go do a presentation consultation with Laguna as well. So we went over a lot of documents, a lot of data, a lot of program information, a lot of budget, and asked for their input. And that's part of the federally required process. So we got that accomplished with Acoma so far, and we're looking forward to having that done with Laguna. Of course, Navajo we did a while back, at least over a month ago. Is there anything I missed there, Dr. Martin or Steve?
Very positive.
Very positive, I thought. And they fed us civilly and some good pozole.
You got everything covered, sir. The Navajo consultation took place on October 5th at Window Rock.
That's all I have.
Community safety meeting?
Oh, we have another one. Yeah, so we had a community safety meeting. Was it this week? Last week? Last week, in which we invited all, as I told you, we're gonna have all the emergency responders and so on. We had a good turnout with the state police, city police, sheriff. I don't think we had sheriff.
No, sure.
Milan Fire Department, Dustin was there. So we had a good turnout, good conversation. Talked a lot about what the district is doing now with security. And now from that meeting, we're gonna have another one coming up in which we're starting to plan a tabletop exercise, community-wide tabletop exercise, in which we'll involve all of the law enforcement and first responders to do a practice, a community-wide practice on active shooter situation. So that'll take a lot of planning, but it'll be a good exercise to help us all communicate with each other. That's-
And are you including the Laguna's?
Yes,
safety?
Laguna, this Laguna was there, or was it Acoma? And, but they got their Laguna and Acoma definitely be included. Right, we're working on having an SRO from Laguna. We still haven't locked that up, but I did sign an MOU and we're waiting to see if we can get an SRO there. So then at Laguna, we will have a SRO. Things keep going the way they are now. We'll have an SRO from Laguna and 2 security guards
Cool.
all there.
Good.
And they will participate in this exercise as well.
Give us a date on that tabletop.
Yeah.
Meeting. Okay,
January 25th.
I believe so, yes.
23. Okay, moving right along, go to the announcements are there. Thanksgiving break, the annual convention. Let Ms. Lorraine know who's attending. You have you think we're all attending? Are we all attending? Okay.
So everyone's attending.
I believe so.
The winter break in December, professional development in January, teachers' workday January, and spring classes. We're getting too close to 2023, gentlemen and ladies. Any future items, please bring that to the attention of Dr. Archambault and Mr. Superintendent Pettis. I think that's it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Hayes, second by
Second.
by Ron.
Have a choice.
Roll call,
Emily Hunt Daily,
yes?
Robert Hayes,
Yes.
Ron Ortiz.
You meeting adjourned at, what time is it?
7:18.
7:18.
Right, that's early.
All right. Excellent. Good job, guys.
Thank you. Steve?